Right, I'm on the
And another
soapbox.
thing.
And another thing. That's from Will and Grace, wasn't it? I'm not angry. And the reason I'm angry. So calories in, calories out. So this is like health myth number one that we want to bust. And I am really deeply passionate about this because there is still in a lot of nutrition and in predominantly in the personal training world, calories in, calories out is still being taught as the way to lose weight. So the concept is that if you eat more calories than you burn, you gain weight. And if you eat fewer calories than you burn, fewer calories and burn more calories through physical activity, you will lose weight. But it fails to address actually quite a few questions. The first of which, why are people eating more? And the bit that I get really cross about, and we'll come on to it when we come to the coaching when it comes to weight, is anything to do with weight issues can really mess up people's heads. And so I think that actually rehabbing from years and years of this kind of programming is often harder than the weight loss, in the first place. So why are people eating more? We're going to cover later, because there is actually scientific reasons why people are eating more. It also doesn't take into account the fact that all calories are not created equal. So calorie values on the packages can be up to 20% wrong for a start. They're just averages. It doesn't take into account the absorption of food and digestive health. And it doesn't take into account the importance of nutritional density, so nutrient density. So that would be like literally saying you are only allowed to eat 1,600 calories today. But you could have all of that in donuts and McDonald's. That's fine. It doesn't actually take into account how we're nourishing the body effectively so that the body can actually go into more calorie burn and more fat burn. And so calories in, calories out is very clunky. And it doesn't also take into consideration if people have got any kind of hormonal destabilization, the calories in, calories out methodology just doesn't work. I mean, my clinic is full of women who are going through perimenopause who are basically eating 700 calories a day. The problem is, the more that we actually get people to reduce calories, the more their body normalizes those calories, but it actually takes a certain amount of calories for the body to even lose weight. So very often the body is in starvation mode and actually doesn't even have enough energy to burn fat. It's like the easiest thing for the human body to store fat. It kind of wants to do that as a survival mechanism. For it to burn fat, it takes a certain amount of calories. And very often, people who have been absolutely indoctrinated with this thinking are eating too few calories to actually burn fat. Have I got that all out of my system? I'm not
I don't
sure. It
know.
might
I don't
come
know.
up.
I remember when we first got together and you were doing, I think, Weight Watchers, and your pudding was the gummy bears.
Oh
Was it
yeah,
gummy
not my
bears?
our 20s. Yeah.
Jelly sweets and
Yeah, low fat
artificial.
and low fat and only a small amount of calories. Doesn't take
Mm.
into consideration anything at all that's actually going to have any kind of longevity, hormone stabilization, digestive improvement, or anything really. There's something else I wanted to say about it. Calories in, calories out. It will come to me, I'm sure. It is something I can actually get really, really cross about.
I think one of the shocking things that we need to be aware of is that there are many obese people out there who are malnourished.
Yes.
Because what happens when we talk about nutrient density is when we are eating the wrong foods, when we're eating empty calories that have no nutrition, the message from the brain is that we're still hungry because we don't have the nutrition to keep ourselves healthy, to make the body work. So we remain hungry because the body is starving for nutrition.
Yes, there is a point that needs to be said here, that calories are important. And if you are eating 5,000 calories a day, you will put on weight. Full stop, unless you are training as an Olympic athlete. And then there's a whole other conversation around that, just FYI. But unless you're burning them, you will put on weight if you're eating too many calories. But just doing it in, calories out is incredibly simplified, we have to take into consideration the right diet for the right person at the right life stage before we even start considering calories. And for most people, like I said, in a slightly passionate way, it's actually about rehabbing these thought processes, getting them away from disordered eating and actually into a natural pattern, so we can start to see what the amount of calories that they would naturally go towards if they're eating nutrient dense food. So it is actually, calories do become part of the focus way down the line once we put some of the basics in that we're talking about tonight.
And it's amazing how many people who have done the calories in, calories out style of diet for years and years and years and years, and they know the calorie content of everything. That there is a coaching opportunity there to be able to have the re-education piece when you've got someone in front of you who's had this perspective for years and years and years, but it is going to need some retraining. And
people are terrified of eating more calories. Terrified. So it can really take quite a lot of coaching to get them into a place where they're comfortable, and doing it really, really slowly.
And I think one of the other crazy things to mention is that human beings are not designed to starve ourselves. If we are starving ourselves, then we are really messing with the endocrine. It's putting such stress on the body, because the body's going, I am starving, I'm in panic mode. And when we look at the endocrine system, and we know that modern life is so stressful anyway, starving ourselves when we are under stress and creating more stress is not the solution to healthy weight maintenance.
No.
So there's also the coaching piece about starving ourselves. A lot of people who struggle with weight, like you said, are eating such a small amount of calories because they believe that calories in, calories out is the solution.
And beating themselves up. And that's the other thing that we come across a lot. It's just this absolute, remorse for waking up in the morning, trying to work out how many calories did I eat yesterday. So therefore, how much do I have to hate myself today, and then restrict myself. So we can just end up in such disordered eating.